Welcome to the Lee Michaels Show with Carol and your daily cast of characters, where we discuss the issues of the day, entertainment news, what's really going on in Washington, and the world. Why don't we just hear it from the horse's mouth himself?
We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified.
I don't think
it's safe to be briefed on national security because the word will get out.
Yes.
I know at some point they're going to be calling, they're going to want to brief me, but I'm not a talker about this stuff.
That's what
this is
presidents
like
do.
Watergate, only it's worse. Because here, our foreign enemies were in a position to hack our most sensitive national security secrets.
With
Of
your
course,
help.
it turns out the Russians didn't need to hack Hillary's email server. They were able to hack Trump's mouth.
This is like Watergate, only it's worse.
You're right.
The Lee Michaels Show on the Power of Voices Radio Network.
It's shitgate. More crap comes out of your mouth, man, than the law should allow. And that's the truth. Boom, pow. Boom, ba-doom, boom, 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 pow. How y'all doing? You survived the hurricanes all over the U.S. You have done a great job. Blessings to all of you that survived the storms from around the world. It's been hell for you. I'm still talking to friends in Texas and Florida, Louisiana, Georgia. Many of them are still without power. It's pretty sad. But very minimal loss of life because most people paid attention to the warnings from the officials. And that's a good thing. Welcome to the Lee Michaels Show. I am that guy. And with me today, as usual, Carol and a cast of characters. How you doing, Carol?
I'm good. Good.
Are you sure you okay?
Yeah, I was reading a story that bothered me
Yeah.
in Atlanta about this young kid,
Mm-hmm.
and he faces 20 years in prison.
What happened?
Well, he was at home, and the day before, somebody was trying to break in, and, you know, they called 911. So the police came there, but he thought they were burglars because, and number one, they didn't get killed. One was shot in the arm, I think one in the face. But
Who
they're
shot?
fine.
Who shot?
The boy did, but
Okay.
I can see why he did because there were no flashlight, or there was a flashlight.
Wait a minute. He shot a cop?
Yeah, but he didn't know
Okay.
they were cops.
Okay.
And whether this whole thing tells you.
So he called 911. The cops came.
No, they had called the day before.
Okay. So what did they
He
come
did
this
not
time
know
for?
they were police.
Okay.
He did not know that.
And he got 20 years for
Well,
shooting a
he's
cop?
gone to court.
Okay.
But I think he's innocent because they didn't have their car where he could see it when he looked through the window. There was no car. They didn't have flashing lights on the car. And
And what was their
he's
reason
a kid
for coming?
that's never been in trouble.
Yeah. What are the cops
Because he
saying?
thought they were trying to break in these people. He didn't know they were cops.
No, but what are the cops saying? Are they making
I'll
a
read
statement?
it to you.
Okay.
It says Plummer thought they were burglars.
Right.
One officer was struck with shrapnel in his left arm. The other was shot in the face.
Mm.
But it tells you what he thought. Both officers are out of the hospital. Plummer's family has recently called Detroit police 4 times within 2 days because of burglars. They were answering for one next door to report burglary attempts at their home. When the 2 officers responded to a burglary call at the neighbor's house, which was next door, Plummer did not realize they were officers, not burglars. In fact, records show 911 was made from Plummer's home moments before he fired a single shot.
Mm.
His father said he never heard of this. He said he just saw flashlights down by the window. He heard a noise approaching the porch. After seeing flashlights through the window, because they didn't have their car where he could see it,
Right.
he retrieved a shotgun and fired through the window. Both officers were struck. The officers claimed to have announced themselves. However, they admitted the police car was not visible from the window.
Mm-hmm.
And no emergency lights were flashing. Plummer is facing 7 charges with sentences ranging from 2 to 20 years. The judge set his bond. Now, the judge must be on his side. He set the bond at $25,000. He said the teen has showed extreme remorse since this happened to his father, and he's shaken up from harming someone. He was just the man of the house trying to do the right thing, concerned, worried about his mother and his brother. He wasn't trying to hurt anybody. He just wanted to scare them off. I don't feel he should get charges. I really don't.
Well, maybe.
If they had been reporting a burglar and all that, why didn't they leave their cop car where he could see it?
Yeah.
Because they had actually went next door. There were no lights flashing.
Yeah.
And he
It's
called
obvious.
911 just before he shot him because I think he heard him coming up on the porch.
Sure.
So to me, I think he was a victim of somebody being scared and trying to protect his family and himself.
And the cops, sounds like they didn't follow proper protocol. They
And
should
he's
have their
a
lights
black
flashing.
child.
Yeah. I mean, so let's hope he can get some good lawyers on his side.
I hope they take a GoFundMe for him and get him a good lawyer. And
Yeah.
I don't think he should be sent to prison.
Well-
Anybody can make a mistake.
Yeah.
They tell us every day, if you don't see a badge or you're looking out the window and you don't see a cop car or if it's a person coming saying they're checking on your gas,
Right.
you don't see that outside. You don't
Yeah.
open that door.
That's right. And, and even if they show a badge, that doesn't mean that they're on the up and up. Doesn't mean they're official, because there's people out there perpetrating cops, too.
True.
That's been going on forever.
Yeah, I didn't open my door one day when they came.
Yeah.
But when I did, there was 8 of them there.
They say, hey, man, we need some backup.
No, because
we're
of
going
this
to Carol's
idiot
house.
that was renting from me.
They said, Carol? Oh, hell yeah. I'm not going in there by myself. Let's welcome Chris into the lineup here. Chris, what's up? Welcome.
Boom shakalaka. How you doing, Lee? How you doing, Carol?
Good.
We're in there. We're good. Everything's good.
Nice.
Man. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. I have to say, before we got on the show, I was channel surfing, going to the news stations, and I come across, CNN, working my way to MSNBC.
Right.
So there's 45, down there in Florida meeting the victims and things like that.
Yeah.
And, I'm just stating the obvious here from my lens. It just comes off like, once again, he thinks he's playing the role of a president. Doesn't seem genuine.
Well, he's still campaigning.
Yeah.
He has not gotten off the campaign trail. Is he down there with a big crowd around him and everything? See, I don't even.
They're serving food at lunchtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is serving food at lunchtime there.
Yeah. And who is he serving food to? Is it a bunch of minorities?
No, mostly for all no white people.
Oh, okay. Well, he flipped the script, because down in Texas, he was sucking up to the brothers and sisters down there. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't be caught dead in the room, skinning and grinning. I wouldn't. No.
Yeah, he's doing the glad handing thing. This was in Naples, Florida. That's where he is now.
Okay. Yeah. There's not too many brothers and sisters down there anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, you got a bunch of people from up north, retirees, and what have you, in Naples, Fort Myer, and places like that, Sarasota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the First Lady, it's him, and Vice President Pence.
Oh,
all
got the
doing
whole
that,
team.
Oh, yeah, they're out there doing it, man.
Double barrel. It's not smart to have the president and the vice president traveling like that together, It's really not smart. Something
once
were to
again, it
happen.
seems- Yeah, well, there you go,
God
right.
forbid, but some people say, well, that'll be good. Get rid of both of them at the same time.
Right.
I don't wish that. As much as I disrespect his entire administration, I don't wish any physical harm to the man. I just wish he would
No, of
just
course not.
press the delete button and go away. Just
Yeah, I would G for that.
fade to off stage. I don't even want to say fade to black.
No, don't use black around him.
Just fade out. Just leave. Pack up. Go somewhere
Just-
where you are not known or people don't give a damn.
You know,
Let it go.
just fade to orange and fade back to Oompa Loompa land.
That's right. Just go away. Do your criminal activities somewhere else, but don't screw up the whole damn country. But anyway, well, that's good that he's going down there trying to, do a Photoshop, photo op.
Right.
Photoshop,
Now,
photo
don't
op.
get me, right. Right. Don't get me wrong. For the people who believe in him, the people who voted for him, okay, that brings you comfort. Hey, who am I to get in the way? Go right ahead, enjoy yourself, take your photo ops, and it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm cool with that. But
No harm, no foul.
But there's always a but there.
But a big old but.
I'm not feeling you. You have no credibility with me.
Exactly.
Not only did I not vote for you, I encourage other people not to vote for you, and I still stand on that because, he's not right. He was not the man for the job. And people say, well, neither was Hillary. Well, God dog it, I'll take my chances with Hillary. And, everybody has their own comfort level. But I think she was better prepared, understand the system, how things supposed to go, and probably would have gotten more done crossing the aisle with the Republicans. Because I think Bubba would have been in there to help her.
But see, you and I and everybody has that relative that, that for some reason just not altogether there. We all have one, and sometimes maybe more than a few.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I won't name my cousin, but on my mom's side, there was a cousin who he was out there.
Okay.
And I asked my grandmother one time, I said, what's wrong with cousin Blue? And she was like, baby, he just can't get right.
We all have those dysfunctional family members.
There's always somebody in the
At
family who
least
just
one.
can't get right.
Absolutely. At least one. Sometimes, like you said, sometimes the whole tribe.
Oh, yeah.
The whole damn family's crazy.
I mean, you talk about a basketball team full of can't get right.
Yeah. I like that phrase. He just can't get it right. Get right.
Yeah, baby. I'm sorry. Chris, he can't get right.
Don't you love those old sayings? I do.
I love them.
I love them. Yeah. Boy,
They were to the point. They didn't go around John's barn and just, they hit the scenario, whatever it was.
Yep, that's true. Boy, don't be no fool. It's just simple little stuff like that,
Right.
I love it. Yeah, I miss that old wisdom, And unfortunately, here in this country, and I've said it before, we don't respect our elders.
No.
We want to kick them to the curb, put them in a nursing home, and forget about them. There's a young lady here last night. She was a guest of one of the guests on Jesse T's show, and I'd met her before. She's very nice, and she's deaf, but she reads lips really well. And she hasn't heard from her mother down in Houston for months. And then when she called the nursing home, they won't give out any information in terms of where she is. They're really not seriously acknowledging that she's there or not. They said, well, she left about 3 days before the hurricane, and that's the last they heard from her. Now, this woman is 80-some years old.
Okay.
Now, when you're supposed to be in a nursing home, aren't they kind of responsible for your whereabouts and
your
where you're
well-being?
going?
I would say so.
Who's picking you up and all of that kind of stuff? So she took a red eye out last night to go down to Texas to find her mom. I wish her luck on that. That's a horrible situation to be in. And there was no other family members down there, a family friend that hadn't spoken with her since before April. This other lady claims that she's called the nursing home several times, and they said, oh, she's okay, but they never let her talk to her. So, I don't know. I don't want to think beyond what I know, but
right.
Why? Why aren't they, the nursing home, working with the family members and friends of the family in a way that they'll know that their loved one is okay? That's just not right. There's something wrong there.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yep. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, Alfo.
Well, good afternoon, good morning, Lee, and good afternoon to you, Brother Chris.
Hey, Brother Alpha, how you doing, sir?
And Lady Carol is
Everybody's
here
all right.
playing with her
Is Carol there?
iPad.
I hadn't heard Carol's voice.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
opened up the show.
I said something.
Yeah.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay.
Are you sure? You okay?
so
'Cause
it's all-
you sound a little
it's all-
winded.
No, I was, I'm doing great.
Okay, good.
I heard you talking about old sayings.
You got one?
It ain't what you want that makes you fat, is what you get.
Wait a minute. Run
Yeah,
that one by me
preach.
again.
Yep,
It ain't what you want, but what?
it ain't what you want that makes you fat, is what you get.
Oh,
That's when you told them you didn't want something on your plate.
right. Exactly. Okay, I got it. Well, my experience with that was my Aunt Vivian. And one time, I don't like squash and eggplant and beets and that kind of stuff, right? I don't need it. So one time she made some, I think it was rutabaga, and I don't like that either. But she told me, she said, you're going to sit here at this table until you eat it all. I must have been sitting there for over an hour. I just couldn't do it. The stubbornness came out. That I don't know if the dog came around and I fed it to the dog or something, but she eventually let me go. She let me out of food jail. But that's a scar on my mind, man. I remember that. I might have been like 6 or 7, but I just couldn't eat it. It was nasty.
Man,
You
But
like
sometimes-
rutabaga?
I don't.
I don't like the name.
Right.
The name sounds nasty.
Squash? Who eats that?
Oh, see, rutabaga.
Rutabaga, squash, eggplant,
Ugh.
beets. Who eats beets? Carol does.
I love
Oh, okay.
beets.
Oh, I can't do them. You eat
Hell
beets?
nope.
How about you, Alfo? You eat beets
In my Vitamixer.
and your vitamins?
No,
yeah.
it's vitamin.
Oh, no.
In my Vitamixer. I got a Vitamixer.
Yeah,
You can put, what did I put in here? I put spinach,
yeah. I eat spinach.
kale,
I eat kale.
carrots,
I eat carrots.
beets.
Nope.
I put a little celery,
Nah, I can do without.
apple, or pineapple.
Yep.
You know,
Got to put
Whole
something in there
apple.
to kill that beet taste. That's
parts
nasty.
of pineapple. And well, when you turn it on, all you taste is apple and pineapple.
Yeah.
You don't taste nothing else.
Well, that's good. I could probably get by with that. Yeah, that definitely would have to cover it up.
Yeah, for real.
No, thank you. I'll pass it
Hell
on.
nope.
And I'm just getting to the point here in my old age I don't eat raw onions under no circumstances.
Oh, come on.
No,
Come on.
No, hell no. No, I can't do it.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I can eat fried onion rings as long as they're crispy. But if I bite into it and that thing comes rolling out like like a worm, I'm done. It's got to be crispy or chopped up really fine in like a meatloaf or something like that. But if you got big hunks of onion in it, I'm going to pick it out. I can't do it.
Yeah, I noticed that 'cause ever since, we talked about food and burgers, the first thing you say is no onions.
No onions. You can put anything in there but onions. Mustard,
No onions,
ketchup,
yeah.
mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, chili, fried egg.
Yeah.
Fire, yeah, you go for that pie egg.
Go put that fried egg on it. Yep.
Right.
Yep. Absolutely. But no, I can do without the onion. Not even grilled. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's the texture
So-
or something. I don't know what it is. I
So
enjoy the
it-
flavor. I don't mind the
Right.
flavor. Yeah.
Oh, the flavor's fantastic.
Yeah. You give me some sautéed liver cooked in onions and gravy, and then take the onions out. I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Some people don't
So you
like
said earlier,
liver.
so you cool with, like onion rings and stuff.
Yeah, if it's fried crispy.
Right.
Yeah. then I can
Yeah, I
stomach
go
that.
for that.
And if they're not too big, sometimes the onion rings is like damn near an inch, thick. That's too much onion. Keep them thin. Give me the skinny onions.
Right.
Yeah, like Skinny Carol over here.
Oh, okay.
That would make her mad now.
Well, I got to make sure that girl don't leave my shower on.
Oh, Lord. That was a mistake.
I don't know. I came home yesterday, Chris.
Yeah.
It's good I had a client because I don't go in this bathroom. And the client went to use the bathroom. She came out and she said, "There's someone in the shower." I said, "No, there couldn't be. No one's here." She said, "The shower's running." Went in there. If I hadn't came home and had a client, it would have flooded. It would have destroyed the people below me, ceiling and my floors.
You said the drain was stopped
left
up, huh?
the shower running and some kind of weird gook, so that's why it wasn't draining right. But I don't know what that stuff was, and then it was in my sink was plugged too.
Yeah. So
It was weird because when I came in, her door was
hair?
wide open. The windows, no, it was some weird gook. Her door was open. The light was. I was like, okay.
She left in a hurry. Did you talk to her?
Yeah, but I told her there's no more getting up and leaving like that. I said,
Yeah.
because you've done other things like this, and this is my livelihood. I'm not going to pay for somebody else's ceiling.
Yeah.
So I'm
So
a
what
little
did she
nervous.
say?
I was tempted to lock the cats in the room this
Oh.
morning.
What did she say? What was her explanation?
Oh. That's
Oh?
what she said.
She just said, oh?
Oh. I said,
Oh?
well, you know what? You'll be paying a big
Oh.
plumbing bill.
Yeah. Well, I think she probably won't do that again.
I don't know, because remember I said she didn't know how to lock a door with keys. Because she said in Korea they don't use keys. I think she went to a prep school or lived there or something. I don't think she's ever had to clean or nothing. But I left her a big note on the mirror this morning. It said, clean the tub, clean the toilet, clean the sink, and shut the shower water off when done. And shut the lights off in your room, because
She speaks
she'll be
English
paying-
well?
just like I do.
Okay. So it's not a communication issue.
No, I think she has something going on. I'm a little worried because I got a call the other day from a police officer, somebody from the campus. He said he had taken her to the hospital at UCLA Harbor. I said, well, I don't drive at night. I said, but I'll get... So I got a little worried. I said, what happened? He said, well, she came to them and said, I'm afraid I'm going to hurt myself. So that worried me. I got a hold of the hospital. I talked to the doctors.
Yeah.
And they just said she was telling them how lonely she is, because she said she came to this country. She knows nobody,
Yeah.
just me. And she thought going to school, kids would be friendly. But number one, if I ran that kind of business where I was bringing foreign kids into schools, and the colleges do this with them, why are you not doing a meet and greet and having somebody, another student, walk around with them or introduce them to people? It
Like
doesn't make sense.
A mentor.
Why are you not making sure they have health insurance here? See, because she didn't have insurance. So I told her, we got to get you some insurance. You got to talk to your dad, and we got to set up some insurance. You can't be here without health insurance.
Yeah.
So I told her
What's
I
it
would
like
go
in
to
Korea?
the school.
Do they have that? Is it like...
Sky went there and said it's real modern.
No, I mean the insurance situation. Is it
I
like
don't
a
know. I didn't
public
ask her.
health
I
thing?
think I'll Google that and see
gotta
if
be
their
better than
insurance is
ours.
free.
Anything's better than
It's
ours,
got to be
right?
better than ours.
Right.
Yeah, really.
Well, the way it looks like everybody's going to get free insurance here because they're really talking about it. And it looks like Trump's bending a little, because I heard Republicans on TV. They said, well, you know, he was a Democrat before he was ever a Republican.
Yeah.
So they're kind of a little pissed because he's stopping the DACA thing. They're just making it different. I didn't read the whole thing. Probably you did, Elpa or Lee.
Well,
So I think people are very Republicans. Some of them are very angry.
Well, they are. They're not
But I
getting
could
what they
see
want.
he's starting to realize you got to work for Democrats and Republicans. You just can't work for one side. It doesn't work like that.
Nope.
So maybe he's waking up a little. I don't know.
I don't think so, but we'll see. Unless a
the deal
lightning
on
bolt
DACA.
hits him in his ass. I
So
don't
what
think
did he
anything's
change?
gonna
What did he do with DACA?
What he
Elmo?
did, what he did with DACA, he brought in Pelosi and Schumer, and they spoke about DACA, but they also talked about raising the debt ceiling. So
You got no choice.
Exactly. We haven't defaulted on our debt in over 140 years of its existence. We've never defaulted on it. So he's supposed to be this brilliant bipartisan aisle reacher
and smart businessman,
and smart, cut a deal, a real deal. I'm the deal man.
the master.
You flush the toilet, don't you? When you get up, you flush the toilet. You're supposed to. So tell me, why is it that the media is falling all over him? Because he's moving to where he can make a deal. So he lies to his base and he changes his position. And the Democrats look to take a little advantage of him because he's desperate to get something passed.
Yeah, he is.
Don't trust this man.
Nope.
Use the same type of logic that Republicans use. They can't trust him. He really can't be trusted. The narrative should be the man is an illegitimate traitor. We don't trust him with our government. And look at the evidence. As the evidence mounts up and piles up, all of these people running around here talking about, well, we don't know that yet. Yes, you do. His, what do they call it, evidence of guilt? All of the moves that he's making about Russia. And this latest move where Flynn and his boy was setting up 16 nuclear sites in Saudi Arabia with Russia. I thought we were trying to de-escalate nuclear plants.
Yep. Advancement.
Nuclear
Warfare.
ability,
arms.
warfare,
Yep.
the whole 9 yards. But here the Trump administration is trying to escalate nuclear arming, or should I say nuclear, what do they call it, proliferation.
Right. Well, because it's about money.
Exactly.
It's all about money because that stuff is not cheap, and only a handful of people have access to the materials needed to make nuclear energy. And I'm sure he's tied in some kind of way, or he's cut a deal. Whereas when he's finally out of office, he will get paid
Right.
directly or indirectly.
You know, he didn't know the Secretary of State, Tillerson. He didn't know him until he made him Secretary of State. The one thing Tillerson had going for him, he used to be the CEO of Exxon. And they've got a $500 billion deal with Russia. But we have sanctions on it, and they can't pull the trigger on it. So their job was to get in, get rid of the sanctions, make that money, and leave the country in the lurch.
Okay, you said he didn't know Tillerson, right?
He didn't know Tillerson.
Okay, so you do your due diligence, you do your background check, okay? You go through all your screening. So you don't know this guy. So why did you pick him? Okay?
Because he used to be head of Exxon.
Exactly.
And it wasn't like he didn't know the deal between Exxon and the Russians
Exactly.
for the oil or gas, whichever it was. We're talking $500 billion. And Trump is going to get 19, and that's just half of it.
Right.
Well, Trump is going to get 19% of that.
Follow the money. You know, that you always find the answers when you start looking into the flow of the money flow. plain and simple. Then you'll see who all the monsters are. You know, it's just like the appointment of education. What's her name? DeVos.
DeVos?
Yeah.
Betsy DeVos?
Right.
Yeah, well, Eric Prince being a brother, that doesn't mean anything. So what if he's the founder of Blackwater, and he also met with the emir of whatever the hell that small Arab Emirates?
Yeah.
For the same reason of nuclear power plants in Saudi Arabia.
Exactly. But in the same, I mean, the guy's a bold-faced liar. Okay, he said he didn't know nothing about Putin. He had several engagements with Putin prior to becoming president. He was in negotiations about putting a Trump Tower in Russia. His son-in-law borrowed how much money? $600, $800 million or something? Come on, guys. Lie to me one time, you might be able to get away with it. But when you keep telling one lie to cover up the last lie, to cover up that lie, eventually you get busted. And it's time for people to just accept the fact that this guy's dirty and he needs to be busted. His whole administration is corrupt. Everything that they've done, the little bit of stuff that they've done, look at all of the things that he has done executive orders on. 90% of it is just to overturn anything that Obama did. This man has a personal vendetta against President Barack Obama. But he opened up that can of whoop ass on himself by starting this whole birther bullshit. And then when it backfired on him, and when Obama undressed him at the dinner, he undressed him.
At a correspondence dinner.
Yeah. I mean, he took everything, shoelaces and everything off on him. And that's the reason this guy ran to be the president, to get back.
So now he's got 3 Democrats who are up for re-election in red states. Mm-hmm. This boy Manchin, Joe Manchin.
Yep.
He's someone should remind these people about Blanche Lincoln. Mm-hmm. Blanche Lincoln was the senator from Arkansas.
Right.
And she was such a Wall Street hypocrite that the progressive movement primaried her. And she barely won that primary. And when she won that primary, the progressive movement abandoned her. And they lost that seat to a Republican by 40-something points.
Yep.
The Joe Manchins, the Hellers, they need to take note of that. Someone needs to remind them of that. Because either way, you're out of a job.
Mm-hmm. And are they true
either
Democrats?
Either way, you're out.
Or are they just, are these people true Democrats? Or are they running as a Democrat, but wink,
not.
Wink?
Manchin has never been a true Democrat, neither is Heller.
Right.
They talk the talk in the environment that they're in. And they have enough Democrats who are in that environment, enough Republicans to say, oh, there's a centrist. They're right in the middle. Let's go with that one.
Right.
But Trump probably brings them in, roughs them up, browbeats them to support his tax cuts. See, you want to cut the corporate tax from 35% to 15%. What does that do to the revenue stream of the country?
Right.
First
How
of
does
all.
the country pay its bills with less
And then
income?
you're gonna say, well, we close loopholes, but nobody knows what loopholes you're closing. You won't show us the plan because the plan is a damnable lie.
Mm-hmm.
And for that reason, it should never pass. It should never garner support from anyone who calls themselves a Democrat. The man cannot be trusted. And that's all they have to cite. The man cannot be trusted. The man is an illegitimate traitor.
Well,
And
the
when you get
Republicans ought to be beating him up on that same point. You know, they
How
can't
the
trust
Republicans
him.
gonna beat him up? How the Republicans gonna beat him up on trust?
Well, they don't like him any more than the Democrats.
Well,
at this point.
That's the leader of their party. They don't like him,
Nope.
but they'll stay with him because if they alienate his base, they'll lose.
Yeah. Well, he's playing
And
chess.
Either you stand up and go down fighting, or you don't stand up at all, and they're not standing up at all. People like the Speaker of the House, Ryan, Mitch McConnell, and all those people who say, "Oh, that's racist," but I still support him. They're complicit in the whole deal. They're
Absolutely.
complicit in all of this.
Absolutely. I just hope that I live long enough to see Republicans and Democrats put down their division, what's separating them, which is nothing but politics. Put that stuff down and work on behalf of the people. Now, they'll come back and say, well, Lee, my district, is primarily white, rural, and the people that I represent, this is how they believe. This is what they think. But listen, because that's how they think and that's what they believe is because you keep pumping that same rhetoric back into their brains. But at the end of the day, if your constituents are living in huts with blue tarps on them, in a shotgun house, trailers, no jobs, what are you doing to help them? You're keeping them suppressed, depressed in that same environment, not giving them access to uplift themselves out of poverty. When is that going to end? And that, my friend, is colorless. There's just as many poor white people as there are black and Latinos. More.
But Lee, the poor white people are devoid of common sense. They still believe their poverty, their constant need will still surpass that of any person of color, any immigrant, in the whole 9 yards.
That's
They
some white
believe
people,
they're
though.
better.
Some poor white people.
Well, of course.
Because I know
Of
white
course.
people that don't have money, and they think the same way all of us think.
Well, now we're not, saying a
Well, I'm
blanket
just
statement
saying.
on all, but there are
Right.
many poor white people that have a mindset.
I mean, just like they make up names for black people, they call white people poor white trash, trailer park.
Yeah.
So people don't realize that a lot of them get the same crap that other races get. So,
Well, they do. That's
and
my
you,
point.
you feel bad when they treat them like that.
Well, that's my point. When
Yeah.
when will they wake up and understand that the people that they keep electing are not doing anything? In other words, they ain't bringing home the bacon to them.
You know, a lot of people just came out and vote because they thought they needed to put a Republican in because
Yeah.
they thought it'd be different for them. But he didn't do any of the promises he promised these people.
He can't.
He's hurt them, if anything. I mean, I think one of my daughters voted for him.
He doesn't have the wherewithal, the finesse, the desire to help them. He doesn't give a damn about them.
No, they
don't. Poor people will never go to a Trump hotel because they can't afford it.
And
They're not going to go to his resort and play golf. They can't afford it.
well, it's like when I brought up Anaheim, they're not trying to hurt the people that are living outside.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to call it a state of emergency. They need affordable housing for people.
Yeah,
and that's
true.
what these people are doing. And Anaheim's a place I don't like to go because it's racist, but it made me feel better about them.
Mm-hmm.
It made me show that they have compassion too, you know.
Or is
There's
it they
no-
just don't want it in their neighborhood?
It isn't that. They live by the river.
Yeah. Well,
So they're not right in their backyards or nothing. They
Yeah.
just feel it's out of control in California. I don't know if anybody knows it, but we have more homeless than anywhere in the United States.
Absolutely.
And it's getting worse and worse. They're parked on every corner.
Mm-hmm.
There's some neighborhoods in Venice where they're literally taking a dump on the sidewalks like a dog does.
Yeah,
Well, if you're
well,
going
where
to
else
take
can
a
they go?
dump, at least pick
Yeah.
it up like you would for a dog.
yeah.
Pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, in the public environment, most of the gas stations around here, I don't know about everywhere else, but around here, they don't have a public bathroom, and largely because of the homeless population. And I went into a gas station one night. I was out driving, and And I went to the gas station.
They're
Hey, man.
dirty, huh?
Well, no, they said, we don't have a public bathroom. I said, well, where do you go? So, well, we have one for the employees, but we can't allow the public to use it. I said, dude, I'll give you $5. I said, I don't want to pee on myself, okay?
No, I would
He
have
said, I'm
peed
sorry,
against the
sir.
building.
I did. I was pissed on the side of the building. I did. I wasn't going to pee on myself. So, but, you know, in Los Angeles, a cop cannot arrest you for taking a piss on the sidewalk.
Or living on the streets.
Yeah.
You just have to move. You can move 1 foot.
Yeah.
Now, my daughter did get rid of some homeless because they're druggies.
Mm-hmm.
And they put tents up and they put them right up outside her window. She didn't let them know where she lived.
Uh-huh.
She went out and she told them, you move this now. And they told her she said, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to watch you every night. And when I see you doing drugs, I'm going to call the police.
Mm-hmm.
They moved because the police told her when she called, they can't move them.
Yeah.
But the minute she told them that, you know, she has a daughter and there's a lot of kids there.
Sure.
And it's like,
You got to be
a
protective
lot
of
of
your
people,
family.
like there's where I walk, it just breaks my heart. There's this young woman and she's just strikingly beautiful. And she don't ask nobody for nothing. She just sits there real quietly. And you wonder, what is her story? What happened to this woman? Because
Yeah.
she's not crazy. She's not a drunk. She's not a drug addict. She just sits there. And I say hi to her.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to sit down and talk to her.
Well, you
and
should.
see if there's a way to help her because she
Well,
seems,
find out what
she
her thing
seems
is.
so sad. And if you've seen
She's
this
probably
woman,
depressed.
it would blow your mind because she has no makeup on and she's extremely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But something's
She's
going
there
on
every day
with
that
her
you go there?
every day. Every day.
Where's she
Yeah, I
sitting?
would talk to her.
She sits
I would talk to her.
on the benches.
Yeah. Yeah, sit down next to her and just have a conversation.
Yeah, because they must make her move at night. Now, when I was walking this morning,
Mm-hmm.
all these people were surrounding something, so they moved away, and the guard, the Coast Guard, all of them were looking. So as I walked by it, it's like a skinny little, how do you say it, a hammock?
Mm-hmm.
There was a man in it. And I tried to look to see if he was dead, but if he was dead, they would have got the cops there. But
Yeah.
all these people were crowded around it. I think they thought the same thing I did, but they had left. And my curiosity got the best. I go, what were they all looking at? Maybe there's a big dead seal or something.
Yeah.
It was a man
Just sleeping
inside this hammock, but it was skinny.
in the. Uh-huh.
Skinny. And I could see his face when I looked down in it. I said, what the heck?
Hmm.
But he did look dead.
Well, you know what I want to do? I'm going to go out. What time do you go out there? 5 o'clock in the morning?
No, I got there today around 7:45. I had
Okay.
to take care of my babies
Well, maybe one Friday when we're not on the air.
and talk to
I'll
this girl.
I'll go out there with you and we'll do a live Facebook broadcast from out there. We'll interview some people.
Yeah, see what's.
You wanna do that?
I'm just
Yeah.
curious. Well, I would like to talk to some of the homeless, and you know, there's things I don't like. It's a very wealthy area. You have huge mansions. They probably pay millions. It was 2 years ago. These young kids were all driving, and they were minorities, and they were speeding, and they hit the tree, and every one of them died.
Mm.
2 of them landed up in the tree, and 3, you know. So you know how kids come and they put stuff there.
Yeah.
These people moved it. I go, you know, that isn't cool.
Yeah.
You don't own that property. You don't own the beach. But they moved it. And that was very upsetting to me because I seen where they carved on the tree, you know, which the carvings I think is still there. But it was kind of sad because all 5 of these kids died.
Yeah.
And it's a trip because they've now put things up to kind of stop this because my daughter's friend died at the same spot. He was
Was it a
driving
curve?
with his dog, a curve,
Mm-hmm.
and his friend was drunk, and
Yeah.
his dog and him got killed.
Yep. Driving
Same
too
spot.
fast.
I've come out there where they fly into the ocean.
Mm.
It's like, this is scary.
Yeah.
I mean, I was there the day after they flew, and the car was down in the water. I go, you sure that they said the people swam out? I said, are you sure they all got out?
Yeah.
And that's so. It's funny how people are, how people treat the homeless. I mean, people yell at me, my friends, because I'll stop and speak to them and give them money, and they go, why are you giving them money? You know, they're just a drunk. I say, how you know that?
Well,
I go, you could be out there.
yeah,
We're all one step away from being homeless now.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
they really should back off some. I don't have a problem. I'm going to waste money anyway that day, so why not give it to somebody that can use it?
I agree.
And I buy water. I got in trouble. Remember I told you at the dollar store?
Oh, yeah.
I was going in the dollar store, and there was this real young black girl.
Mm-hmm.
All she asked me is, could you buy me a pair of socks and a T-shirt? I said, sure. Come on in the store. She picked out her shirt and sock and then went back outside. I got in the line, and the cashier had watched, this Latin cashier, and she started to yell at me. I said, don't yell at me. I can do whatever I want with my money.
Mm-hmm.
So other Latins stuck up, but then all the black people were siding with me.
Mm-hmm.
This little girl did nothing. All she asked me is, can you buy me a shirt and a pair of socks? Now, $1? That's what she, and this cashier, what are you tripping about? What's it your money?
What was, I mean, but why did she tell you it was
Because
wrong?
she didn't want her in the store. I said, but she didn't bother nobody. I took her in the store to pick out what she wanted, and I told her, go wait outside and I'll bring
Right.
it to you.
Right.
I don't know what she tripped about. They get mad at me all the time because for some reason you have young kids always that are homeless. There must be a homeless encampment by there with young people.
Yeah.
Because last week it was a young guy, and all he asked me for was a quarter. So I gave him $1. He said, no, you just had, I said, no, here. I went in and I bought him some water. Now, he might not even been homeless because he looked at me
Right.
and he looked at me real funny. He said, well, thank you. So I don't even know if he was homeless. Maybe he was just wanting to buy
Yeah.
a pack of cigarettes and his mom was inside. I don't
Yeah.
know.
All he needed was a quarter for whatever his
But
need
I bought him a
was or
big
want. Yeah.
bottle of water
Well, that
and
was-
$1. And he
yeah.
looked at me strange like. So, I mean, of course I took him to be homeless. So I don't know if he was because there's always homeless people out
Yeah.
there. And it's always real young people that are maybe 16 and 17 because,
Right.
you know, we get a lot of runaways in California.
You know, when I'm at the gas station, sometimes you'll get people come up to you and say, "Hey, man, can you help me out? You know, I'm trying to get home and I ran out of gas. My car's right over there, and you know, I live wherever. You know, usually it's a distance." Now I say, "Yeah, no problem. Pull your car up over here, and I'll put some gas in it." See, so I'll do that, but I won't give them money.
See, sometimes
on a-
though it's a
it
game.
could be a
they
con.
don't want
Yeah.
the gas.
Right.
Yeah, you
exactly.
got to be careful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very careful.
But that's what you're going to get from me. If you tell me you need some gas, I'm going to put some gas in your car.
Yeah, because there's a group of these one people, they're gypsies. And
Yeah.
I have fell prey to them.
Mm-hmm.
They'll ask you for money, and I'll go to get, no, could you buy me some diapers? Because they're going to cost like $10.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sure, I'll go in and buy you some diapers. I think a week later, I seen them on the news where they were showing them getting in brand new Mercedes. I said, that's
Oh, yeah.
so to be
Yeah.
funny. Here it is years later. You still see them, and they always have a newborn baby with them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's,
So I
that's-
don't help
know,
them
it's
because
always-
I know it's a con game.
Yeah.
It's all right. There are people out there taking advantage. Like, you know, this is the ones always get to me. Hey, big brother. Hey, man, can I get some money to get home? I look down, you got $200 pairs of Jordans on.
Right.
I'm like, dude, sell one of your shoes and get home. You know, it's just not going to happen here. I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and people take prey of that, try to take advantage of your good nature and things of that nature. But going back to earlier what you said about doing some stories, some homeless people probably tomorrow if they concede, I would say go for it because, as you know, a lot of us report the news, broadcast, or just sing on the news, and we don't put a face to it.
Right.
And if these people are willing to share their stories, it's really humanizing to
Yeah.
listen to what they're going through, and you have more of a empathetic ear or vision to what these people have gone through. Everybody has a story to tell,
That's
and there's a
right.
reason why they're on the street.
Yep.
Well,
true.
I did do that one day. It wasn't on radio. I stopped my car under a bridge,
Mm-hmm.
and I noticed a bunch of young kids and older people. I talked to the young kids, and these kids were all college kids, but they couldn't afford to pay rent and feed themselves, so they lived outside.
Mm.
And I talked to the older people. The rent went up. They don't have no relatives.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to move out, and they live in the streets. And it was quite interesting listening to each of them.
Yeah.
But then you never know the games because me and Lee, we're always doing something we get in trouble with. We pulled up our cars one day, and I have a little dent and something, and he had something. And this guy walks up, and he's got 3 kids. Was it 3 kids or 2?
2 kids, yeah. One of them
And
had
he gives us,
special
I
needs.
can fix your car. You know, I work at such and such. And
Yeah.
I make extra. So we lead him back here. I think he got me for what, maybe almost 300.
Yeah.
He pretended he was going to Lexus to get the paint and a molding. I should have figured something wasn't right when he taped the molding.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
jeez.
a con.
Yeah,
you
he
know.
got both of us that
Yeah.
day. What did he get you for?
About $100.
And I
Ouch.
wish we could
Yeah.
see him again because I swear I would
I saw
walk
him
up to
again one time after that, and I told him that, he really screwed you over. I didn't care too much about the car that I had because it was an older car, and I was going to trade it in, get rid of it. And I said, but you really need to come back and fix Carol's car. He goes, oh, yeah, no problem, no problem. I'm still here in the neighborhood. So I said, yeah. I said, you really need to do that.
No, he needs to get my money back
Well, that's true.
because the guys that see my car said he don't fix cars.
And he
It's
was
a
out there
con
working
game.
on another guy who had conned
I
another
would
guy.
have told the guy he's
I
going to
did tell
con
him.
you.
I did. I said, man, don't. I gave him the cut sign. I said, no good. And the guy was from the Middle East or something. And I said, but I tell you what, if I see him again and he's bent over checking out, working on somebody's car, I'm gonna kick him square in his butt.
And
I
you
am.
know, I was so nice.
There you
I was
go.
feeling sorry for the kids, and
Yeah.
I wanted to bring him inside here, which would have been a big mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. When the wife, so-called wife, I don't know if it was his wife or not, but she did want to bring the kid in because they know they're doing wrong. It was a little warm out there that day, if I remember correctly.
And remember,
We
one
offered
of the
them some
kids
water.
was really bad.
Yeah, he had
Remember,
some
she
special
started
needs.
pulling the boy's hair, and
yeah,
but
she might have been autistic.
That's what is sad because sometimes you don't know who you're helping or what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Well, there's 1,000 cons out there. There's no question about that. And the same thing on the internet.
That's true.
I always help a
you
lot
know-
of times the people that are from a homeless shelter, and they're out there and they have all the stuff there they need.
Mm-hmm.
I'll help them in a minute. But you
You
never
know,
know.
Lee, you was saying earlier in the conversation, I was thinking about when you mentioned about living to see the day when the Republicans and Democrats get together, and I think you'd be waiting a long time. You'd probably be like in your 200s, because I think it ain't going to happen. And this is why I say that. Because as you know, when you're dealing with control, and anybody has power divvies out the privileges, and then whoever the powers that be, quote unquote, are doing this, they have to create, I told you, first rule of magic is to create a plausible diversion. So
That's
plausible
right.
diversion, for example, is to have people think that they believe in a candidate or a party and that person's for me, when they really are in it for themselves and the party of these candidates. So
right.
that's on either side of the aisle. What happens is you come into a false sense of security. Now, don't get me wrong, not everybody falls in that category, but I think when you're dealing with lives are at stake, when you talk about just human nature, devoid all of the political stances, it's about taking care of people in this country. And then if you can't see eye to eye with that, something's wrong somewhere. You can't put your differences aside for the sake of a human being, for the sake of trying to find ways to give people jobs or help the homeless. No, that's too much like right. And so in order to keep confusion going, you just say, well, tell you what, we'll pass a bill and see if it gets through and blah, blah, wait. No, and damn well ain't
Right.
going to happen.
Right.
Because they wanted people to be homeless. They want to keep them on the street because that's good for quote-unquote business. It is good for them to constantly have a topic or something to put their hand on and say, you know what, that's a problem. We won't solve the problem, but it's a problem we'll go acknowledge every now and again.
Right. Yeah, it's the old thing of kicking the can down the road and let the next guy deal with that.
Right.
You know, not making coming in with good intentions and fixing it. Let's fix the problems. You know we have an infrastructure problem. President Obama tried to implement a plan to fix the infrastructure here in America. The Republicans blocked it. Okay? Now, you've got full control, Mr. Republican. What you going to do? I hear you talking, but what are you going to do? Do it. You want to win? Put people to work. kick off the infrastructure plan. You'll have millions of people working. That would spear the economy upward like crazy. Can you imagine all of the bridges, the roads, the tunnels, the water pipes, the sewage drains? You want to do something? Fix the drainage problem in Houston, Texas. Fix the problem with flooding in Florida.
That's right.
You will employ hundreds of thousands of people. Contractors will be very happy. Walmart will make money because those workers will need to buy shoes and pants and underwear and gloves and hats, food, tires, gas, new cars, trucks. The ripple effect from that alone will stimulate the economy like crazy.
That's right. Absolutely.
Only thing that will stimulate the economy is tax cuts for the rich.
Yeah, well, that's
They're
what
the
they want
job
you to
creators. They're the job creators. Jesus.
believe. Yeah, well,
How is it that people, and I know how it is, I'm being facetious with the question.
right.
How is it that people can have the history of the two parties, 50 years, 28 years Republicans held the presidency, and 22 years Democrats held the presidency? Okay? Total jobs created. Republicans, 24 million with 28 years. Not even a million a year. Democrats, 22 years, 42 million jobs created. Stock market return. Republicans, 109% in 28 years. Democrats, 992% in 22 years. Stock market return annualized. Republicans 2.7, Democrats 11%. GDP, Republicans 2.7, Democrats 4.1. Income growth, Republicans 0.6, Democrats 2.2. Those are the last 50 years. Those are the numbers from the Department of Labor. The source is Bloomberg Politico, U.S. Department of Labor. And it is the message. When they sought to take away health care, you know, that real bad Affordable Care Act, Obamacare,
Right.
the people rose up because what they were proposing was BS, was garbage.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they lost by one vote. Even though they control both, and they were using budget reconciliation. Remember, budget reconciliation was a big bad no-no, it's not going to happen deal. And what do the Republicans fall back on? They say it's the Democratic obstruction. Something the Democrats were afraid to say for the last 8 years when they blocked a veterans bill that Nancy Pelosi passed in the House
Right.
to give veterans more jobs. The Wall Street reform, which they passed in the House, which would give us better control over Wall Street. Immigration reform, which they blocked. Political ad disclosure, which they blocked twice. Small Business Jobs Act, they blocked it twice. And I'm saying all of this to say it like this. Over 300 bills that were passed through the House were blocked by the Senate filibuster of 40 that would have helped the middle class. Infrastructure repair is tricky. This is why it's tricky. The Democrats want to increase a very small increase on the wealthy that will not change their lifestyle, that will not harm them in one iota.
Right.
Republicans want to privatize it and give big tax cuts to the
their buddies.
corporations
Yeah.
that are doing the
work.
road work,
Yeah. Of course.
thus creating this multimillionaire group.
Well, Alpha, you just laid out some facts, some validated, verified facts about the difference in what the Republicans have brought about over the last 50 years to better the people here in this country. And you brought out the facts about what the Democrats have done. Do you think that if you sat down with some of these hardcore Republicans and lay those facts out to them, do you think they would see things differently? Do you think they would say, oh, my God?
No. No, because
Why
this
not?
is about idea. This is about ideology. Now, Democrats might sway that way. Democrats might say, show me a better way and I'll agree with your way.
Right.
And that's what Democrats do. Republicans, no. They're a hard line, walk the line, fall in line, stay in line, regardless to what the facts are. They suffer from cognitive dissonance more than any political party in history. The back and forth, the testiness between Republicans and Democrats came to the forefront with the rise of Newt Gingrich and the language that they use. Don't just disagree with your opponent. You have to demonize and vilify. And Democrats have taken that brunt.
Yeah.
Since Gingrich was in power.
That's right.
Since he was the House Speaker. And each and every time, Democrats always shrink and cower to the will of what the Republicans are saying because
Well, it's a damn
they have
shame
no message.
that you don't want to accept the facts and look at things differently, especially when you're in that position where you're suffering, you need help, but you would rather sit back and say no to good ideas, even if it's at your own expense. I don't get that. If you come to me with something that makes sense and you show me a plan that really can work, and you show me how the plan will work, that to me I can buy into. But for you to tell me, well, I'm gonna do this for the education system, I'm gonna cut taxes, I'm gonna do this, but how? Not one damn time that our current president, while he was running and even now, has shown us how he's going to do anything. Everything that he claimed he was going to do. Well, what's the plan? How is it going to happen?
They stand behind this. I'm not going to tell people what I'm going to do because they'll either criticize it or they'll do something to sabotage it.
Yeah.
That's their playbook. That's what they do.
Yeah. That's
each and every time, just like look at the South, look at Texas, look at Florida, look at Georgia, look at Alabama, all being ripped by what? Hurricanes, fire, climate change. But you don't hear them talking about climate change. They continue to elect people who deny climate change.
Yeah.
And where most of those hurricanes spawn from? They come all the way over from Africa.
That's true.
From the west
coast of Africa. That's right. That's how they make their way here.
All we need now is a preacher man, a black preacher man. I want him so dark. They say he's black as midnight. I want him about 1:30, so that he can be so dark and say things like, this is Mother Earth's revenge
coming at you
on the slave trade that brought us to those southern states.
Yeah, that's deep.
So, match him up with Pat Robertson for talking nonsense and put that out there and watch their heads explode.
Yeah.
What people don't understand is journalism has fallen victim to propaganda. And it will never, ever be the same. Ever.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have enough real news reporting. It's too much commentary, and that's, I think, how we got so discombobulated from a public standpoint. You know, we're very, very divided because what the average person thinks is news isn't being presented as news. What we're doing right now is commentary. We're giving our opinions. We're discussing topics that are in the news, but we're not news reporting. Maybe during the conversation that we're having, we might mention things. Carol brought up a story about the young boy in Detroit that shot 2 cops because he thought they were burglars.
I thought it was Atlanta.
Was it Atlanta?
Detroit.
Okay, well, wherever it is, she read an article from
It's Detroit.
Right. And so that was reporting in that sense, okay? But outside of that, then we began to discuss it. But in the old days of news reporting, Walter Cronkite and the such, people like that from that era, they reported the news. Then you formed your opinion about what you just heard. Maybe you had a discussion about what Walter reported at your dinner table. But Walter didn't tell you how to think or whether it was right, wrong, or indifferent. He reported the facts. Well, very little of that is still available today.
Well, that's where the vacuum came in.
Right.
He just reported the facts. Then someone decided, let's not just report the story. Let's give this slanted opinion about what's going on. And they have not only done that over the years. Now it's a situation where we will give our slanted opinion, and we'll repeat it over and over. And
Oh, absolutely.
Just like when they talk about the dreamers, the first thing they talk about is illegal immigration and crime and, keeping Americans safe. That's nothing more than a narrative.
Well, I don't know what we can change. And now that our current administration has allowed foreign investors to own 100% ownership of any of our media, that to me is not a positive thing. And trust me when I tell you, the people that are heavily in debt in the broadcast business, the iHeart Medias of the world, these are the guys that lobbied for this change in the ownership regulations. Why? Because companies like that are in billions and billions and billions of dollars in debt. They cannot go to any private investor or banks, investment bankers in America, because those guys are already in the bad deal. iHeart Media is in what, $20+ billion in debt. They will never see the light of day unless there is some foreigner that's got more money than God to come in and buy them out. And that's what they're praying for. They got scabs on their knees. They're praying so hard that they can con some foreign investor to come and bail them out. Then they can go sit on their fat asses in Texas or wherever and enjoy the benefits and the millions of dollars that they're paying themselves annually. Come on, folks. This is not a good thing. Is it being talked about in the media? Hell no. Why? Because it benefits the current ownership of this bad media that we're running right now. You only find those kinds of points of view or facts from people like us on the internet that's going to tell you the truth, what's really going down, and why. These companies are in debt. They're upside down. They pay too much for these radio and TV stations, and they will never see a profit out of it other than what they're paying themselves. But when you've come from humble beginnings and you're paying yourself $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20 million a year, and the company is losing money, same thing with Uber. Uber is losing billions of dollars a year. They've been around 6 years. How are they going to bail out? Simple. Simple. Common sense thinking. Raise your damn rates get rid of all the controversy, and you may have to merge with your competitor. The only reason we have satellite radio today is because Sirius and XM merged together. But separately, they were going to destroy each other, and they would both eventually die. So those are the realities, folks. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's not very difficult to figure out. It's just common sense thinking. What's the bottom line? In order for you to succeed in any business, you got to have a certain amount of income that supersedes your debt, your expenses. But if you keep borrowing money or going public and using public money and floating for 5, 10, 15 years and you're still losing money, guess what? Bad management decisions. And it shouldn't go that long.
So what's the deal with Facebook?
What do you mean, what's the deal?
What's the deal with Facebook?
Are they,
Why would Facebook,
are they still losing money? I don't think so.
Why would Facebook, whether I don't know. Why would Facebook take hundreds of thousands of dollars from foreign entities to distribute?
Well, a lot of
propaganda
times
and
they do
lies?
that because they don't want to use their own money.
No, are you talking about the money from Russia buying ads during the political campaign?
That too.
Uh-huh.
Because it's not just Russia. I'm talking China. I'm talking.
Well,
Look,
it should be against the laws here in this country to take advertising dollars from foreigners that are giving propaganda, lies. But see, we're blind here in this country. As long as you're spending money, they will take money from the devil. And that's obvious. Look at what happened. Facebook has come out publicly saying, yes, they received advertising dollars from Russia during the campaign season.
But this is after they've denied it for 2 months. This is after they've denied it over and over and over again. And now that they're busted because the people making those assertions had the information all along.
Yep.
So you have Facebook, who's lied and aided and abetted a foreign adversary.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not be dragging in the CEO and the whole 9 yards? You're supposed to be dragging them in before Congress, before the Department of Justice, anybody.
Yeah.
Before a grand jury.
Well, see, it's so bad, Alpha, I think, that there's so many people have been doing bad business, only looking out to line their own pockets, fatten up their bank accounts at the expense of national security and the integrity of this country. And it's time for that to stop. And the problem is there's so many people involved in it, even people probably in the Department of Justice, the presidency. This entire administration has links to some kind of skullduggery with foreigners and or people in this country that have a political agenda, like the Koch brothers. How many people are bought and paid for? How many politicians are owned by the Koch brothers? Why? Because the Koch brothers are in business, all kinds of business, from toilet paper to who knows what. And their agenda is to be able to have access to this entire economic structure to make more money. Way to do that? Control the decision makers.
Here's a better question. With the disasters that have occurred in Houston and in Florida, and destroyed the power infrastructure in Florida and in Houston, why are they starting over with the same BS, with the same madness? Why aren't they starting over with solar and wind?
Because it makes sense. Okay, and I guess they haven't bought into the solar development and all of that. They don't own that part of the industry yet.
Well, the people,
Yeah.
the fossil fuel people
They're doing
should be
pushback on it.
banned.
Yeah.
They should be banned from the solar and the renewable energy market,
Right.
because what they've done, they're fighting against it to make it more expensive and more difficult for individuals to have solar panels or wind farms, to sell power back to the municipality, to the utilities. So what are we talking about here? What are we doing? They've made it illegal to collect rainwater.
Well,
What is the old
it-
Eddie
it's-
Kendricks song?
You see, now, if I was in the oil industry, if I was an oil baron, I'm sucking oil out of the ground and selling it as fast as I can. And another more efficient method of providing energy, fuel, or whatever comes about, guess what? I'm going to jump into that industry. I'm going to
You're
say,
going to
hey,
jump, but
I want to
can't.
go investigate that. Why can't you?
they can't, because what they've committed to is the fossil fuel burning, and they would have to deconstruct the entire foundation of who they are.
Yeah, but don't they
Fossil-
understand that fossil fuel is eventually going to run out? And
Well-
but I guess they don't give a damn because they'll probably won't live
Thank
long
you.
enough to see that disaster. So
you
again,
go.
kick the can down the road for the next guy to deal with it. But see, I'm just polluted with common sense. Common sense tells me that if there's something else that's out there that's going to be competing with what I'm currently doing, I'm going to have my hands involved in that too. So take a little money and go out there and invest in these solar panels and windmills or whatever, rubbing two sticks together. If that's going to make some energy that I can sell, I want to be in that. You got to transition. You got to diversify. And you certainly have the resources. You're making tons of money selling oil, gas, and all kind of petroleum products. Diesel fuel is a byproduct of gasoline and all of that. It's the throwaway. But they figured out how you can burn that shit. And that was like the big deal. Oh, diesel fuel, it's cheaper, it's more efficient. Now it's more expensive than gas. And it's a throwaway. What is that? You see how we get conned?
Well, the natural gas is cheaper than coal, and that's what's driving coal down back into the ground. But they'll have you believe that it's renewable energy.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. If I were to build a new house today, it would have solar panels. And if I was in a neighborhood that would allow, I would have me a windmill. I would have a well. I'd dig it as deep as I could to get me some good, clean water, and then filter it so that it's drinkable.
Exactly.
I mean, why
But you don't
is
need-
that a bad idea?
You don't need a windmill. All you need is a wind turbine.
Well,
If you're
whatever.
you're talking about your house, you just need a wind turbine, a couple of poles, and a couple of turbines to power what you need.
That's fine.
And
I would do that.
And you would still be able to sell power back to
To the grid.
utility.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So why is that a bad idea? If people were to invest in that, and I understand that the technology is still a little expensive, but it's going to come down because if every homeowner was allowed to have solar panels and or turbines or both, and then that's better because you now have 20 million people creating energy and putting it back into the grid, which would bring the price down, and it wouldn't cost the electric companies money to generate that energy. But they get a chance to sell it back.
It would put the electric companies out of business, and and that's the bottom line.
Well, okay.
It would
but look, listen. This is where it makes sense to me. This is why I'm saying I would diversify and invest in that new method of creating energy.
Exactly. That's like public options and Medicare for all. It would put the for-profit insurance companies out of business. Their overhead is 18%. Medicare is 2%. Now, what are we talking about here? A 2% overhead as opposed to an 18% overhead.
I think President Obama had the right idea with renewable energy, and he was able to kick it off to a certain level, and of course it's new ideas like that is not going to jump off 100%, up and running day one, but at least it's in motion. It's in motion, and I hope that they can't stop it, turn it around, and get rid of it. That would be a disaster. Anybody with an IQ 2 points below plant life can figure out this makes sense.
It's like hemp, Lee.
Come on. As long as the sun is up there, we can create energy from that sunlight through solar panels.
Like hemp.
Yeah.
It's like hemp.
Absolutely.
If you can make the same 25,000 items out of hemp base as opposed to oil base. If you can make rope, clothes, cardboard, brick, medicine out of hemp, and you can grow 4 hemp crops a year, that would save the trees. There would be no need to chop down all these damn trees.
Right.
Thus, it would help climate change.
I'm holding in my hand here is a little bottle. I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not. And I've used it all up, but it's some hand lotion. It's made by HEMPZ, Hemps. And it's all natural, of course. And it works really well, and it smells good. And someone gave this to me, this is a sample size. And I'm going to go out today and buy some of this stuff because it really works. I have dry hands. My skin, my hands especially, because you got your hands in water and stuff all the time, and my hands tend to be a bit dry. This stuff I could put on once a day, and my hands felt good, moist. No problem. Other hand lotions, I've tried some of the expensive stuff. They're supposed to be really good, and they didn't work as good. So I'm sorry, is it Hemp Z, like, zero at the end? HEMPZ.
Okay.
Now,
that means your hands are high.
And it smells good. I was driving one day, and I was at a red light, and I reached down and I grabbed it. I was keeping this little container in my car. And I put some on, and it was a man and a woman in the back seat. And the lady said, "Wow, what is that?" And I showed her the bottle. I, gave it to her, and I said, "A friend of mine gave me this to try." And she says, "My God, it smells so good." She said, "How does it work?" I said, "It works really well." I said, "Try it. Put some on." And she did. And she says, "Oh, my God, this feels so really, really good." So, stuff like this. And this is natural. It's made from the hemp plant.
That's right.
Now, I don't think you can smoke it, but, there you go.
Well, hemp itself.
You put it in your drink?
Right.
Hemp is the stalk that marijuana grows on.
Right.
You're not going to...
I'm trying to get a little bit out of this thing here.
You're not going to get high,
Right. So
you can try. You tried Alpha before?
Believe me.
Hey.
Trust me, you're not going to get high. Do I
That means you've tried it.
Do I need to say it 5 or 6 times? Believe me. You're not no high there. Believe
Wait a minute.
me.
Are you saying if you ground up the stalks from a marijuana plant, you won't get high from that?
You can ground up the stalk from the mirror. You'll be so pissed off for taking that time. It ain't gonna be funny.
Sounds like experience.
So when you go
All
out
right.
and buy a dime bag and it's full of stalks, you've been ripped off. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, damn Skippy. And then too, Lee, I must confess.
Okay. True confession, ladies and gentlemen.
I stopped smoking the loco weed some time ago when I figured out that I had been on my job 20 years and as a driver, if I dropped hot, I was fired right on the spot.
Right.
So I stopped. I quit.
Okay.
I quit, and then after I quit, a few years later, I had to drop a urine sample. I hadn't had an accident or anything like that. It was a DOT, Illinois Department of Transportation checkup,
Okay.
and you have to drop a sample.
Okay.
So,
your sample didn't pass.
oh, my sample passed because
Oh.
I had stopped a long time ago.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Even with my girth, the thickness, and all of the fatty acids, I had exercised the poison from my body.
All right. You knew it was coming sooner or later, huh?
Oh, I knew it was coming sooner or later, so I
Yeah.
stopped. I just quit. I just said, what the hell?
Now, see, I had a little bit of residue of this hand lotion in this bottle, and I stuck my little finger in there and got a little bit off, and I put this on my skin. Let me tell you something, folks. This is not a commercial. This is it's good. It works. I'm gonna go out today and find some. And the lady that gave it to me said that it's at the Ultra stores. I've never been or heard of it, but I'm gonna go looking today for
Oh,
that.
yeah. Well, they just closed down a bunch of those stores here in Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Ultra,
Yeah. So,
ULTRA, Ultra.
yeah.
It's thing of Stratton Van Tills.
It's a what?
It's a company owned by Stratton Van Tills, another
Oh, okay.
grocery chain.
Oh, it's a grocery chain. So,
Right.
okay, so I thought it was like a Walgreens or something. But
No,
it's a grocery store. Okay. I've never been there. I don't know.
right. Just like Kroger
Yeah.
is the parent company for a grocery store called Food for Less.
Yep. And is Vaughn's under that too?
It's something, yeah.
What's the one in Las Vegas? Not Ralph's.
When is it?
Not Winn-Dixie.
It was not Winn-Dixie.
It may be, but they own a chain of stores that I used to frequent in Vegas until when I went to Vegas to campaign for Hillary Clinton. Actually, it wasn't for Hillary. It was a get out and voter registration drive. Because we registered Republicans as well. They ran us
the
away.
registration drive.
Yeah, they ran us away from the front of the store. Said we couldn't do it. So you know me, I started a little ruckus. I said, well, why is that? I said, you got the lady over there with a little table there selling Girl Scout cookies. Why is it that we can't register people to vote? Well, people come in here and they say they're upset. I said, upset? Why are they upset? They don't want to
she's black.
register to vote. I said, I don't understand that. I said, may I speak with the manager, please? So this lady came out. She says, yes, sir, how can I help you? I said, I want to understand why is it that we can't register people to vote? Well, some of our customers say that, they're offended by that. Offended by the right to vote? Well, they get into a whole political thing. I said, we don't discuss who you should vote for. We're just asking you to register to vote. Now, their assumption is maybe it's partisan. I said, but I don't have any stickers on my clipboard or anything that says any party. So what is the problem here? You don't want people to register to vote? I said, is this a corporate policy? Well, no, not really. It's just the people that are coming in. I said, then you can't tell us to leave. So, well, this is private property. I said, no, it isn't. See, I'd already done my homework because I knew I was going to run into some bovine. And I have an ex-sister-in-law who works for the parent company. And I contacted her to find out if this was cool in the gang. She said, yeah, it's not a problem. She said it's best to go in and get the nod from the manager. She said, but the only problem with that, you might talk to the day manager or the night manager, and then the other manager or the part-time manager may see things differently. She says, but we do not have a corporate policy to prevent people from standing in front of the store to register people to vote. Now, if you're harassing people, then yeah, that's a problem. I said, no, we're not. If people say they don't want to register, then so be it. We don't tell them who to register, what party to register for. And I registered several Republicans. I didn't, have a problem with that because that's not what it was about. So you can register as a Republican and maybe vote for a Democrat. Who cares? Who knows? So those kind of things. See, now if I was running for a political office, those are the kind of things that I would try to ensure that people would have the right, the access, and wouldn't be shooed away because somebody disagrees with your political ideology. But more importantly, if I'm asking you, hey, excuse me, sir, are you registered to vote? And you say, yes, I am. Okay, have a great day. Thank you. And don't forget to vote on November 8th or whatever it is, right? That's all we were saying. We didn't ask, well, who are you going to vote for? Do you like Hillary? No, none of that. Not at all. If you wanted to engage in a conversation as you're registering to vote about who you're going to vote for, that's on you. But we don't ask you. We don't tell you who to vote for. We just want you to register to vote. By the way, Hillary did win Nevada. But that's all. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying.
You know what? I was perusing the chat room here, and Laura Rice had made a comment about what you said earlier about Ultra. She said it wasn't Ultra. She says, no, Ulta.
Ulta.
Cosmetics.
Okay.
Yeah, ULTA.
Okay. That's it. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for an Ulta store. They should call it Ultra, damn it. But thank you, Laura. You're such a resource. But I appreciate you. Are you doing a show today?
Today's Thursday.
Yeah. She usually records her new show on Thursdays. If not, I'm going to go get a fat burger. Turkey burger.
Nice. Turkey
I'm
burger,
all with
right?
that. Fry egg.
Fried egg. Gotta have it.
No onions.
No onions.
Extra mayo.
Yes, indeed. Throw some chili on that bad boy. I'm going to have heartburn by 3 o'clock.
Heartburn, all right.
Yep. Randy O.J. checked in today. Laura Rice, Darius, Erica, Lee, Milton, and DJ Willie. DJ Willie D. Wilcox. Now, there's a name for you right there. DJ Willie. DJ Willie D. Wilcox. Damn.
Man.
That's a mouthful.
Damn.
Let me go to DJ Willie's page and see what you're doing over there, man. You don't know about no turntables. What you know about that? Where you from?
Laura says next week, not tomorrow. She said next week.
Oh, that's cool. And I'll go eat 2 burgers. Okay, DJ Willie is living in Lauderdale Lakes. I know exactly where that is. DJ, were you okay? Did your turntables get washed out? See, you got some fat-ass speakers here on your page. Let's see, James T. Thomas. Okay, you know it's James T. James T. is a legend there in South Florida. Cedric Hollywood. These are mutual friends. Okay. Cool in the gang. Cut them up. Can you do all that? I know.
What were you doing, man?
I was scratching.
You was scratch mixing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
You
You
don't know nothing about that.
was having a heart attack.
Yeah. He's like, somebody please shoot me. What is George talking about? Apollo says he's like, will somebody please shoot me? What are you talking about there? Are you talking about me?
He was referring to you earlier.
Look at Lee's face. What was going on at that time? Yeah, well, sometimes I guess that expression comes out. What's up, Shaggy Jenkins? Shaggy is a talk show host over in Hawaii.
Oh.
Yeah, he's on KAKU 88.5 on the island, baby. He does
Not too
show.
shabby.
Yeah, you can also check him out on Facebook. And I think he might be on YouTube as well. Shaggy. Shaggy knows how to cut it up. He's a good talk show host, so y'all check him out. I'm trying to find out what time his show is on.
Okay,
I'll give
very
you
cool.
that 411. Yeah, I think it is on like Pacifica network. Got a nice little hookup, nice studio and everything. Yeah. Trying to find his time. What time are you on, Shaggy? Shaggy!
Shaggy Jenkins. Like the name, man.
Yeah. Right? I think it's
I'm hip.
from the mainland, I think somewhere down south.
Okay.
Come on, man. What time are you on, Shaggy? Apollo introduced me to him. Maybe we can get him here on our network. Let's see here. Medicare for all. Mueller goes online and was Trump right about the status? Come on, man. What time are you on? All right, I'll find it and let you know. Well, check the cat out. He's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure you send me the info. I'll check on your page out. You're going to send it because I like to let you come out, man.
Yeah.
Was Trump right about what?
Nothing. He's not right
He ain't
about
been
anything.
right about nothing.
Period. Plain and simple. Yeah, Laura, I'll send you some of this hemp stuff here so you can be smooth. Take the edges off.
Do one better, Lee. Send it to Chris. He'll get it on her.
Oh, Chris is already smooth. He's so smooth.
No. See, you know what? See, here comes the stank bomb. Now, I sat back and did the same thing while you was jabbering on about politics. I gave you your space. And then what do? You throw a stank bomb with extra stank and then run out the room. See, I can't deal with
Well, you know
It's called a fragment grenade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called a stank bomb where I come from. With extra lactose intolerancy behind it.
Yeah.
Before you objected, I was on my way out the room, okay?
Yes, naturally, right? You don't smell your own stank,
Yeah. It's not good in here. Gotta go.
Yeah, send the bottle to Chris. He'll make sure it gets on her.
Oh,
Right.
please. You sound like Carol with putting piss in wine.
Oh, man.
Jesus. Is Carol still there?
No, she had an assignment. I think I had another client to go tighten up somebody's head.
Well, since Carol's not there, let's ask the other Carol.
Oh, you want to bring that box out, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Quit.
She sent me some of that wine once. I thought, spit it out a little bit. I was like, what are you doing? She told me to put her urine. That's disgusting. We had a conversation about that later on. I said, you gotta stop pissing by wine bottles. People think you're crazy or something.
And I'm the one with stank bombs.
That was all over the news.
Boy, y'all bad. Let me take my
Listen
headphones
to who
off my
talking,
head.
Mr. Instigator himself.
Right? So what
I'm
you
like,
guys?
wow.
Hey, Alpha, did you hear real quick? Did you hear the doozy that Lee and Carol got into yesterday? They always get into arguments,
Oh, she's
but they
always
got into a
fighting
doozy.
with me, man. You know?
Well, you always fight, but that one yesterday was nice, man.
Yeah, and who was it? Somebody was in there defending her. Talking about, let her talk, man. Leave her alone. Nah, I ain't gonna leave her alone. I'm gonna ruffle those feathers.
And they were arguing about what?
I had come in. Oh, it was Anthony Hamilton defending her. Chris had asked a question, and I had already elaborated on it. But she made a statement, and then I said, well, it was about Bernie not supporting Hillary. And I corrected her and saying, no, he did. After he lost the nomination, he got on her bandwagon. And he went out and he campaigned on her behalf. So I said, that's not an accurate statement. You let me talk. That's my opinion. And she just went off, right? So that's what the argument. I said, well, no. I had to correct you because your statement was incorrect. Well, that's my opinion. I said, okay.
Well, she claims he didn't give a full throat endorsement.
Yeah.
But
he did.
Back.
He did. I mean, when you go out and campaign on somebody's behalf, what does that mean? It means you're down with it. You're throwing your support behind it. Now, many of his supporters did not cross over and support her. That's not his fault.
Especially after Russia leaked the thing about the DNC and Wasserman Schultz and all of that.
Right.
They basically played the Democratic side, the progressive side, like fiddles.
Exactly.
And you hear that coming from, the WikiLeaks, Julian Assange bunch, and you can't put that in the category of, let me check on this before I believe it. And that's where we are. That's where we're going to be. It's not going to change. You've got people who will disseminate propaganda just because they know there are some out there who call themselves, who have strong convictions, progressive convictions, who just won't get it. Mm-hmm. All of the people who thought Hillary was bad, she's the same old Wall Street, this, that. Look at what you got. I'm trying to explain political reality to people, and all they can do is talk about, she called black people, what did she call them, predators? Okay.
Not predators. Yeah, was it predators? No. Not terrorists. Yeah, but I remember the statement. I think it might have been predators.
It was predators.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Some kind of predators, and this was like in 93. Well, damn it, it's 2016 and you still hot? Damn, think Affordable Care Act, think voting rights, think civil rights, think, damn. But they picked them off like little Indian boys.
And what did Hillary call the people that supported him? What was it? And they got on her about that. Not dysfunctionals.
No, deplorables.
Deplorables. And she was
called,
right.
She called. Okay, so since when do you allow the debate of false equivalency to take place when you got the truth on your side? Damn.
Yep.
Just damn.
Do you drink orange juice?
Who, me?
Yeah. I'm doing a Carol here, changing the topic.
Yes.
Well, it's a simple yes/no question. Come on, don't think about it too hard. It's not a political question.
Because I'm not supposed to.
You're not supposed to? Okay.
When your blood sugar is low, you drink orange juice to get
Right.
your blood sugar up.
Right.
And I have basically shied away from orange juice. And I say that because of my history with orange juice.
Right.
Before I was declared diabetic, you know how in the hot summer people would get a pitcher of water, cold water. I had a thermos with cold water and it filled up. And then halfway through the day, that water is gone.
Right.
I would buy 64 ounces of orange juice. And
Wow.
in a box on my truck, I had the ends of the paper that came off the computer that served as a great box to keep stuff cold, a great thermos,
Right.
a great, And same with, what's his name, Oberweis chocolate milk,
Oh, yeah.
the half-gallon bottle.
Yeah.
I
The
used
glass
to
bottles.
stick that in a box of glass of paper ends, and it would stay cold all day.
Well, it's good that you don't drink that much orange juice anymore, but because of Irma, orange juice prices are going to be high as the sky because it killed a lot of the orange crops. So the orange juice or oranges prices are going to go up, or they're going to be imported from China or some damn where, and it's not going to be as good as that good Florida orange that we have grown to expect. So, see, the ripple effect from these type of natural disasters is humongous. You don't think about it. And then now the cleanup. What are they going to do with all that waste? All the trash and the garbage, the polluted
Put it on the
sofas
barge.
and chairs and flooring, the hardwood
put it
floors
on.
and stuff like that. All that stuff's
Load
got
it
to
into
go.
a barge, Lee. Load it onto a barge.
And take it where?
Take it over to the Indian Ocean.
And drop it in the water. See, and
You
then
know-
all
do you know
the
how
fish that
deep-
you import from over there and even over here now is
You
going
don't
to be
import
polluted.
fish from the Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean is so large. Down there around Australia where that plane disappeared, where that Malaysian plane disappeared. It is so vast and so large that that'll be like pissing in the lake.
Yeah. Now, could you live in your house where you are right now, and I'll ask both of you this question, for 10 days with no electric?
Was this by choice or by natural causes?
Well, it doesn't matter. You'd have no damn electric for at least 10 days. Could you survive? What would you do?
Yes.
Oh, I can
Yeah, I can
survive.
survive.
Oh, absolutely, I can survive. You know why I can survive?
Why?
Because I watch Naked and Afraid, okay?
Now, see, that's one way of doing it. See, he watches Naked and Afraid. I watch Afraid and Naked. So
Yeah, right.
everything will be all right.
They're definitely different. But I
I
mean,
know-
how are
Yes.
you going to survive without refrigerated food and what have you?
Okay, because
Everything in your freezer will not be there, so you got to eat that shit
okay,
up
so
first.
so you don't have refrigeration.
Yeah.
What you do, you burn a little wood or with the fire that you start on your own with a bowl and sticks, and you start that fire and you burn wood.
Uh-huh.
In that, you put the ashes from that wood into a little cone with sand, and that will filter your water. Okay.
You saw
Now-
that. You saw that on Naked.
Naked and Afraid, Bear Grylls, you name it.
Right,
You name
right.
and Andre told us how to do meat.
Yeah.
You remember Andre telling us about
Sure.
digging a hole?
What?
putting
That's what he's got to
pine-
do down there now because he still is
Right.
without electric,
Right.
and he hurt his back, so he's all messed up.
He hurt his back doing what? Lifting motors?
lifting and pushing shit around. I'm sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So he's all jacked up. He's probably walking
No,
around
it ain't.
looking like the humpback from Notre Dame.
If he's walking, he's lucky.
Right.
If he's walking, he's lucky.
I
'cause,
told his monkey butt to get up and leave, but no, he had to prepare and get up, move stuff around, and pick up his boat and put it on his back and walk down the street. It's like, all right, Hercules. That's what they used to call him when he was young. He claims.
I didn't know that for real.
Yeah, that's what he claimed. I think he was making that shit up.
Yeah, well, only thing I get in my mind is Eddie Murphy playing Professor Clump's mother. Huckleberries.
Trump is denying a deal with the Democrats, but
Well,
he
that's
says,
what I mean.
Yeah, he said we're close.
It was
but we
no
haven't-
deal.
It's not done yet.
He's going to renege on it right off the bat. Schumer and Pelosi has got to be one of the gullible most. She's about as bad as a Trump supporter.
Well, you know what? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I think that it made sense for them to sit down and talk with the president and try to get their agenda pushed through, because that's
agree.
what they should do. But at the same time, okay, do you play chess or checkers?
I play chess.
Okay.
Well, when
So-
I play chess.
Okay,
I don't-
so
I
you
play them
underst-
about at the same rate.
Right. Okay. So
Not
you
often.
understand strategic thinking, and if I make this move, then that's going to happen. He's going to try to do this. So you're thinking a move or two or three ahead, right? So
Right.
you got to understand, your president is in a compromised position right now. He needs allies. He can't get them from
Okay.
his own party. They don't trust him. They don't like him. He has not come over and he's not lockstep in with them. So he's looking for allies. Now, he was always a Democrat, he claimed. Now, I'm ashamed to say that this guy was a part of the Democratic Party, but he claims to have been a Democrat. He's going to go now to the Democrats looking for cover because the raft of hell is coming down on him with this investigation. So he needs people that are going to stand up and say, no, the president is not a bad guy. He's doing a good job and blah, 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 blah. See, he's
Well,
looking
who's
for
supposed to say that?
credibility.
The Democrats?
Well,
The
he's
Democrats are
hoping.
supposed to say that?
Yeah, he's hoping. That's his hope.
Okay, but Lee. You let that son of a bitch spin in the wind. He is such a despicable bastard.
I agree with you. I'm not
that
defending him at all.
You allow him to fall on his own. If he wants to cut a deal for raising the debt, if he don't want to raise the debt ceiling, damn, default on the credit. The country will fall, but it'll fall under a Republican.
Yeah.
If he's already, you know what? Here's one of my biggest pet peeves. The fiscal year ends September 30th. It starts October 1st. So October 1st of last year to September 30th of this year is Barack Obama's budget. So
Exactly.
the million jobs that he's claiming is bullshit.
Of course.
His
he hasn't
budget,
done anything.
his policies will start October 1st. And that's one thing you don't hear from Democrats. You don't hear Democrats
I agree.
calling him out.
I agree. They're silent. In fact, I got a request for a donation for Claire McCaskill, and it was a questionnaire, and at the end they're always going to ask you for a donation. So I went through the questionnaire, and the last thing they asked, they said, "What would you like to see the Democrats do, or what agenda, or something to that effect?" And I said, first of all, get a backbone, stand up, give some pushback. Be more vocal against this president that is doing nothing for the people in this country. It's time to grow some kahunas. And I'm paraphrasing, but basically that's what I said.
What are cojones?
Balls, some nuts, some hair on your chest.
Well, I have that.
Man the hell up. Well, we know you got hair on your chest because we saw it.
I have a lot of hair. You could braid it.
Some
Say
cornrows
dreadlocks,
on
huh?
your chest, huh?
Say dreadlocks, huh?
I used to have Jerry curl juice on it, but I had to get rid of it.
Oh my God, that's the thought
You're
of
gonna
that
burn
is
in
just-
hell, Chris. You're
I
gonna
know.
burn in hell.
I ain't
Well,
gonna
I'm
be
taking
nowhere
you
around.
with me.
Don't you ain't got to take me. I'll be there before you.
You're probably right. And sit next to you in hell, burning your gasoline drawers on.
I'll be sitting there going, here, let Chris in. I know him. Come on.
He deserves to be here. Light
And
his
he'll go,
ass
who
up now.
else?
Set him on fire.
He'll go, who else is here? I say, you know Lee back there.
Back there
Like, oh
talking
man, the
shit.
gang's all here.
He's back there talking shit on the microphone and ain't plugged into nothing.
Yeah, ain't plugged into a damn, but everybody hears it.
Ain't nobody listening to nobody at that point.
Yeah, him and Andre back there arguing with each other.
I'm like, man, leave it alone with your country ass.
Yeah,
Country.
culture. He's sitting there back there in his speedboat trying to get Lee to go fishing with him, and Lee ain't letting up that microphone. He said, hell no, you go ahead on.
Lee's still peeling bugs out of his teeth.
Right.
Yeah, Lee's still peeling bugs out of his teeth.
Really? I'm going 200 miles an hour in the swamp. Oh, hell no. No, I'm not going to hell with y'all. No. Nope.
Hell
might
no.
as well.
Hell
well, you
no.
might as well. Oh,
right.
fellas, it's 2 o'clock.
It is.
My time. My time.
I'll see y'all knuckleheads next week.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks, man. You
All
guys
right,
were a
man.
blast
Chris,
this
take
week.
care.
I appreciate
Yeah, you too.
Love
You too. Everybody take care now.
Have a safe weekend. And donate some money to a charitable organization that will give 100% of the proceeds to the victims of these horrific storms that we've endured. Don't worry. We'll come back. We'll be on our feet because this is the United States of America. Against what? Political bovine that we have to deal with. Blessings to all. We'll talk to you Monday morning. And maybe I'll do a live broadcast from the beach or somewhere to interview some homeless people. Let's find out why they are in the position they're in. Till then, God bless.